starting that?
Hey, no, we live. Oh, we live now. Okay, all
We
right, cool.
definitely live now.
All
I
right,
didn't
we
realize that's what we were starting to live at. What's good, Josh? Your boy Pat the designer back at it again. Joined by the Brody Bro P.kidd. Bulls got a dub there. Did some beautiful things. Kid, what'd you see in that game that you liked and that you disliked?
man. Listen, I love being able to see someone else step up to do some of the scoring outside of Zach LaVine. I love seeing Lauri getting his rhythm, getting his bag, do his thing. At one point, shooting 70% from three, shooting 70%, over 70% from the field. So I love the fact that we got that, and he's kind of coming out of his shell. But realistically, this kind of just shows me the importance of having an extra body like an Otto Porter Jr. on the floor, because it really only seems to happen when he's there. I like seeing the rookie be a little more aggressive, although we still need to work on the confidence. But between Laurie and real talk, Gafford kind of coming in, doing this thing, them looking for him getting those putbacks, really showing his presence there. The grit that he kind of showed, which I think realistically, if Wendell had been in the center, I think he kind of would have got bullied a little bit. Gafford didn't let that happen. So I love to see those two things. So those are my two biggest takeaways: the grittiness we saw from Gafford, and then obviously Lauri Markkanen coming in, doing his thing from behind the arc. So
I I feel like we're seeing a Bulls team that for once is more consistently showing better play from the 4 and 5 position. Now the 5 not as much, DG kind of getting going tonight. They've struggled at that position for the most part. But at the 4 especially, I mean, Thad Young, Lauri Markkanen, these are two guys that have been major contributors to what the Chicago Bulls are trying to do. What have you liked just about the contribution out of those two players, man?
loved it, loved it. And that last hold on, I was pulling up a stat when you asked me that question. So you caught
Oh,
me in the middle of that. My fault. You caught me in the middle of that one. But I tell you what, ask that question to me one more time. Then I'll make sure I'm on point with you.
Essentially, Thad Young, we're seeing better production out of that 4 position for the Chicago Bulls. What have you liked? That we've had Thad Young, we've had Daniel Gafford. What have you liked out of those two players at that 4 position? Something that the Bulls have needed consistency from there.
I'm with you. Check this out. Check the stat line. I'm gonna go from turnovers down to points. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
One turnover, one block,
Yeah,
one steal,
yeah.
8 assists, 8 rebounds to go along with. Let me make sure I get these points totals right. 13 points. I love to see it from Thad Young.
Yeah.
Love to see it. That also goes to tell me that he was our main, I don't want to call him a point, but facilitator tonight. He was our best facilitator tonight. And it
Fact.
definitely looked like it, right? Compared to, and this is not to down him. We don't have to go that route, but check out this stat line: 4 turnovers, 0 blocks, 0 steals, 6 assists, 4 rebounds to go with 13 points. That's Kobe White.
Right.
So better ball protection, gave me more on the glass, gave me more with the assist, was actually looking real composed, knew what to do and where to go with it. So I love that contribution because we need it.
Yeah.
We need it. At times, Kobe, if he's not in his bag doing what he does as a scorer, he is all out of sorts when it comes to actually trying to move that peel around and trying to find himself. He needs to take a back seat. I would not be surprised if he ends up getting benched or something like that. I don't think Sato was better than him overall, but
Right.
just the liability he presents at certain times is getting really bad. I thought it was just a couple games, but now it's had this extended stretch. So the see Thad Young give us that, really needed it. Give you another stat line: 12 points. Didn't see much on the blocks, which I was surprised, but 9 rebounds. Yeah, 12 points, 5 and 9 rebounds, but he was in foul trouble for a good part of the game, which is his fault, which is something he needs to improve. But that's what Gafford gave us.
Talk
So
about Daniel Gafford. Yeah.
he gave us that. So love to see that as well. Love to see him trying to get into a rhythm. I would love to also see him cut down on the boneheaded mistakes. We talked about that rebound. He got that last foul call on. Hey, listen, you got to give that up. There's no need to try to wrap the guy up. You're not going to get that jump ball Like, let's be real. Let's play smart basketball with it. But outside of that, I think their impact, especially when we have Wendell down, was great. And as just from a facilitator's perspective, anything that alleviates some pressure off of Zach to have to do everything, I think is a good thing. And I'm glad to see that kind of provide that type of that pick me up for us in that regard.
I think the solid play that we've seen at the big man position, especially, I think I'd go on a limb and say this has been Daniel Gafford's best game. But I think that the contribution that we've seen at those positions has definitely helped what the rest of the team what the rest of the team is trying to do. Now, like you said, though, it's about consistency. It's about doing this on a night in, night out basis. We don't see them do this against the Anthony Davises of the world. We don't see them do this against the Joel Embiids. We don't see them do it. Name your big man. Heck, Steven Adams. You know what I'm saying? We don't see them do this against the guys that really are a force down there. And that's something that the Bulls definitely need to improve on. But I think what you can take from this game now, we've seen them go on these streaks, especially when they've had those heartbreaking losses. The Bulls have gone on, I believe, 2-3 game winning streaks, and so this is an opportunity for the Bulls to take advantage of where their schedule is right now. Now, the most important thing for me going into this stretch is getting Lauri Markkanen to stay aggressive. Aggressive. This Bulls team, when it is aggressive, is a very dangerous team.
Very good team.
Absolutely. But I feel like they go through moments. Either there's moments where they feel like, okay, we're up, we don't have to stay aggressive, or there's moments where, okay, we're just trying to get through to the end of this game. We're kind of winning, but and then all of a sudden, like, the lead is gone. They can't fight their way back in it because they're not at the point where they can flip that switch. That you got to stay aggressive for 48 minutes. And I think when they do that, like we saw tonight, Lauri Markkanen was aggressive in the beginning of the game, and the Knicks didn't know how to handle him. And then at the end of the game, Zach LaVine got his chance to be aggressive, and then they were like, wait a minute, we just figured out how to handle Lauri Markkanen. What's going on up here? When this team is aggressive, they are a strong team, and I think that's going to be the difference maker going into this next little bit of next stretch on the schedule.
Absolutely. And to add to your point, even though Lauri down the stretch wasn't knocking him down, the fact that he still took the shots.
Yeah.
The fact that he was still taking them to keep the defense honest. Because if someone tortures you for darn near 30 in the first 3 quarters, you're not going to go off of him, right? They're going to go through a little low, but you'd be real stupid to not to stick that man. So the fact that he stayed aggressive, the fact that they actually kept going back to him, despite the fact that he was missing, I think they're really just trying to work his confidence up in that regard, especially with the statement you made earlier about him not really believing they wanted him there and stuff like that. I think it was a great showing just to get him going. But again, anytime we don't have Zach playing the entire game, having to do everything, it's going to lead to us having the opportunity to play winning basketball. He needs to know that he has people that's going to ride with him. People that are going to actually try to put up. And for a couple games, we literally were just watching the Zach LaVine show. And it wasn't looking great because it's like 1-on-4, 1-on-5. Like, it wasn't really looking real good. So I love to see this type of balanced scoring. Now, we can sit here and talk about, it's the Knicks. They didn't really have a great offensive threat, but they're the best defensive team in the league. They've shut down some really good teams.
Yeah.
And we came out with a victory.
Yeah.
So
beat the Nets.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
tough.
This is a game where you got to look at it with a grain of salt. They just can't score. They literally have forwards everywhere you look. Like you look left and like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? You shouldn't be a power forward. Oh my goodness, a center. What are you doing over there? Like they're everywhere. But I really look at this team as a benchmark of the Bulls got 110 on the best defensive team in the league, and while doing that, held them in check offensively for the most part. The things about it's all about consistency.
Absolutely.
This is a game of runs, but you have to cut down how many runs these games are going to have. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to cut down how many runs these games are going to have. The Knicks shouldn't be running it up on you every time you go on a run, they go on a run. Every time you go on a run, they go on. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to. The Bulls defensively still have to lock in a little bit better to me, but I can't be mad at what we saw tonight because you saw those great contributions from so many people in those key moments that they were able to overcome what the Knicks were doing. And I think that's really just what it comes down to.
You know, it's interesting. I was just about to say that. First of all, hey, shout out to Mike. Mike Nice was good with you. But I like seeing that. Those sharp cuts to the rim. You can tell that they've really been practicing some things. You can tell Billy really put his foot in somebody's behind because it's like the motion was there and everything like that. Yeah. So I love to see that. Love to see it. The only thing I'm really concerned about at this point is what do we look like when Wendell gets back? Do we keep that momentum, or does everything shift again?
Does Gafford keep up what he's doing? That's what we got to see. It's about playing smart ball, like you said with DG. Stupid fouls that you didn't have to take. Fouls that you didn't have to put yourself in that position where literally you're the only big man left on the team other than Lauri. I mean, we got Luke Cornett, but I'm not sending him down in the post to go bang with somebody.
Anytime Lauri could just do what he did tonight, which is basically score, do a little bit on the boards, he's playing the role that fits him. So
for sure.
To have someone like Gafford down there to do all the grunt work, I think that's what we need. We don't need a star center at this point.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's our most glaring thing.
I don't think we need a star center, but I think we need somebody that can fight on the boards because here's the thing. Your starting four isn't that guy. Your starting four is the guy he's 7 feet tall, he's gonna grab the board that bounces away.
Right.
That's who he is. He is a offensive threat. He's a guy who and I have to give him some props. By the way, if you guys are in here, like the video, subscribe to the page, man, because we do talk Chicago sports weekly.
You missed it. I missed it. You didn't do it. I missed it.
You missed it.
Oh, the energy is low. Oh God, no.
Make sure that you hit that bell because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. But let's get the likes up in here so that we can get more people in here as well. The biggest thing for me with what we saw tonight from Lauri Markkanen, the job he did on Julius Randle, that is a load to handle. And he was down there in key moments. Pause. Okay, all right.
You set yourself up for it. Pause.
And I double said it.
With confidence, as if it wasn't a pause moment. But no, absolutely.
Now, if you look at the stat line, it's not going to look like anything like he did anything, but you have to watch the game. This is those moments where you have to watch the game because in late game situations, they didn't switch Lauri Markkanen off of him for DG. They said, go out there and guard that man, put him in there. But Julius Randle had a pretty good game too, 23, 11, and 7. Pretty good game.
With two steals.
But again, that's one of those, you got to look at the situations that he was in those late game situations. They were putting the ball in his hands to make plays, and Lauri able to stay there. I loved what I saw from Lauri Markkanen. Surprisingly, as I might say, defensively tonight, as well as the fact that he was able to come out and put up 30.
Now, here's a good question for you.
Go ahead.
Now, you already read the stat line. For those who don't know, Lauri is averaging right around 20 points a game.
Yep.
Right. So realistically, on paper, we have our number 2 on paper. Right. In the flow of the game, maybe it doesn't look like that. But today, it looked like we definitely did. So I'm not expecting Lauri to give me 30 by the third quarter every game. But if he can give me a stat line similar to what Randall was given, 23, let's just say it's 23, 7, and 7, or 23, 5, and 5. I think that is consistent enough for me to say, hey, give this man some money and let's see what happens with it. What did you think? What's your thought process on that? Because I mean, really, it's not far-fetched. That's an extra 3 points a game with maybe an extra assist in
I think the question I would have is, can his production be replaced? Like, could you go out and find a vet or go out and find a rookie who could develop in, or maybe that rookie is Pat Will, maybe he ends up moving to the 4, whatever it may be. Can his production be replaced? Or is it irreplaceable? Or even just the fact of how he works with the team and how he works with the dynamic of the team that you have to pay him that money. Now, if Lauri makes his money, I'm fine with Lauri making his money. I have no problems with that whatsoever. But if he's Lauri from tonight, if he's Lauri from the Knicks or versus the Knicks, pay him his money. Because I know he's going to come out. This is my thing. Even if he is not having a good shooting night, or if he's not having a good rebounding night, what's he offer you?
Mm-hmm.
If he offers you what he offered you tonight, Lauri had heart tonight. Lauri had energy. Lauri was fighting. He was fighting on the boards. You wasn't just going to push him out the way. I'm 7 feet 240, boy. You're not just going to push me out the way. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to show me that night in and night out, even on your off nights, go ahead. You know what I like about Zach LaVine? Zach LaVine has the mentality of a guy who, even when he's off, my team need me to do something. My team need me to score. My team need me to assist. We saw a game this year when he had 10 and 10?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the mentality I need. What am I going to do to get my team to the next level? And I'm not saying Lauri doesn't have that, but I feel like when he's not doing something well on one side, the energy's low on the other side. And I feel like that's kind of this team across the board. Kobe White, same way. If Kobe White's not scoring, his passing doesn't do well.
The one interesting line that I hit you with is this: Lauri Markkanen right now has consistently played up to Kristaps Porzingis level for the last 2 years. Now I know that Kristaps has been injured coming back.
Well, not 2 years.
Last 2 years, look it up.
Last season, his stats were terrible.
14 points. I give you that. 14 points. Yeah, that was bad. But for this season, definitely him and Kristaps are like neck and neck.
Yeah.
Which is really high praise because we all know that the boy gets busy. Yeah. So when you really look at that, like I know how we value Kristaps. If we were to say, hey, we could get him, we'd be like, yeah, let's make the move. But technically, we kind of already have one.
I think the wild thing with me, I think I'm actually at a point where if you offered me Kristaps for something crazy valuable, I'd be like, he's not going to be on the court. No. Like if you was like, I'll give you Kristaps Porzingis for like the number 5 pick in the draft.
If give you Kristaps for Lauri, what would you do?
Give me Kristaps for Lauri, yeah.
Nah, I'll take Lauri.
I would take Kristaps because I think the upside is better. But again, what Lauri Markkanen am I getting?
That's true.
Am I getting tonight's Lauri Markkanen or am I getting Lauri Markkanen versus AD? You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people say, bro, it's versus AD. Like, it's bro. It's a mindset though. It's a mindset though. If you AD is tough. I'm not saying go out there and stop AD. I'm saying go out there and score. I'm saying go out there and play your game, find your way in the offense. And even if you're having an off night, just bring the energy. Give me that energy.
Yeah.
Give me that vibe of the thing about a 1 and a 2. If Dame is off, CJ can pick it up.
Facts.
If Brian is off, AD can pick it up. If Zach LaVine is off, there's nights where Lauri Markkanen does not pick it up. And I feel like now it sounds like I'm bashing him. He had a great night, but there are those nights where it's like, okay, Lauri, I need more out of you or anybody. You know what I'm saying? And so if he can show me that night in and night out, I have no problem paying this man. I would rather see him stick around. Hey, he looks like he's the only number 7 pick that could possibly live up to being the number 7 pick.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We got 3 of them. Kobe White is just the scorer at this point in my mind. Just go let him be on the bench and put up points. And then Wendell's gonna get pushed around.
Yeah.
Wendell's gonna get pushed around. And so to me, if we're getting this, not even just Lauri, if we're getting the Bulls team that we see tonight, and I think we've seen this team more consistently, but I need to see it now. Now let's see it versus the better competition. We've seen you versus Portland when Portland's had people out. We've seen you versus the Lakers. We've seen you versus the Clippers. Okay, but you haven't closed those games out. It's easy to close out a game with a Knicks team not easy, but it's easier to close out a game with a Knicks team that got 40 power forwards on the team and can't nobody really shoot the 3.
You said Lauri scored 30 last game?
Yeah, he's got 2 30-point games. He might have scored over 30, but 2 30-point games in these last couple games.
All right, so let's see what he does on the next game. If he gives me 20 plus, I think we're dealing with something.
We got the Knicks again.
I think if he gives me 20 plus, we're dealing with something.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing is, though, we got the same team again. They're gonna be scouting for that. They know now.
Hey, listen.
They know now.
Let me tell you.
What I hate about this.
Because on a back-to-back.
That's a tough night, bro.
Bro. I'm gonna be real with you, and let's kind of look ahead to that game, even though it's somewhat the same game. I'm gonna be real with you, dog.
Somebody getting ejected.
oh my God, bro! If the Knicks play like they played again at moments tonight, Thibs is going to be kicked out of the league. That's the only way he's gonna be satiated, bro. The league, bro. I'll call the games from home.
Man, listen, I'm telling you right now, Lauri, we might as well just coach up Pat Will, who actually got 10 points. But you know what the thing about Pat Will, I hate to segue into this. I know you want to go into the next game. But Pat Will has regressed a little bit.
I think the league has adjusted to him, and also I think the rookie wall is going to hit guys quicker because you came literally from college to the pros.
No training camp.
You know what I'm saying? I think that wall is going to hit a lot quicker, especially because I don't know when their last game was. You know, everybody kind of did their stuff different. Yeah. So I don't know when their last game was. If your last game was 7 months before the season started, like that's hard.
That's tough.
That's tough to come back to. And so I'm gonna be real with you. Most of the rookies this season, like LaMelo looks about how I expect LaMelo to look, because LaMelo was in a country that was pretty much still playing basketball.
Yeah.
Up until the last minute. You know what I'm saying? Like
he has a brother that plays professional ball. So
true. For sure. Yeah. And I think LaMelo, to me, clearly rookie of the year. Somebody was talking about James Wiseman is a shoe-in for rookie of the year. And I was like, have y'all seen what Melo's doing?
Hey, no, James Wiseman look like he been here before.
Oh, James Wiseman gets busy. No disrespect to Wiseman at all. And I think the only thing that might hold Melo back is the fact that he's still not starting.
Crazy thing, since we're talking about rookies, I got Melo on my teams 14, 5, and 7 tonight. Shooting over 52% from the field. His biggest thing is just like here's the difference between him and Kobe White, though. I'd be honest with you. At least when he turned it over, it looked good.
It's all about a good-looking turnover.
Kobe White be making some
Hey, Kobe do be falling
passes, bro. I'm like, what the heck is you doing, bro? Like, anyway,
Kobe be like, let me pass. Oh, here we go. Hold up. Oh, Jesus.
But honestly, I think realistically, Pat Will has gotten too much in his head a little bit, because I hear what you're saying, but that doesn't excuse hesitating.
I think they're also asking him to change his game.
Wide open shots. My man's wide open. He says, "Okay, no, all right."
That's never been his game, though. He's literally coming on a team where they're like, "No, you're supposed to be the offensive threat. You shoot 50%. You're supposed to be the offensive threat." And he's like, "Why? I'm used to taking like 6 shots a game."
If you're gonna make it in the league, you have to hit those open shots.
Yeah, for sure.
Way too many. Right?
For sure.
That man says, "Oh, you didn't bite him a little pump fake? Okay, I guess I gotta shoot now." Like, no, I need you to take the shot, baby. Take the shot.
I think the thing is with that too is it's not even just it's not just the fact that he is not taking or that he's pump faking people into him. It's that he's not taking the shot. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell he's not used to that being his first option, because it's like the ball comes to him and he instantly looks for somebody to pass it to. And then he's like, oh, I can shoot. And then he pump fakes. And then it's like, oh, now they own me. Well, I'm going to drive past them and I'm going to dunk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell that Billy Donovan's probably in practice like, shoot. You need to hang out with Zach LaVine more. Like it's a weird thing to say. It's something that I noticed about his game, especially watching this tape in high school. It's just not what he did. It's just not what he did, and so I think that's something he's got to grow into. That's a mentality he's got to grow into. What are we at? 18 games into the season now. I think by the end of the season we might see him taking quite a few more shots. What Mike Knight say, Pat? They said you was on the court tonight. How many you scored tonight? Boy, you already know, boy. I had 5 buckets for Denzel Valentine. That's what I had tonight.
Ironically, Pat Will did have 10 points, so that is 5 buckets. We'll leave that alone right there.
Oh man, let's look ahead to the Knicks yet again. Man, what do you see from the Knicks coming out? Second showing, going to be on Wednesday. Let me make sure the time on that. I believe 7:00. But we've been fooled before.
I think we're gonna take an L on that one, dog.
It was tough.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I don't see us beating Thibs twice, bro. I would be really next game Wednesday, February 3rd, 7:00. New York versus Chicago is gonna be in Chicago as well. I'm not confident in us beating the Knicks a second time, especially with how Thibs got them, especially because it's Thibs. You know what I'm saying? Especially because it's Thibs. It's just like
I'll tell you why I don't think we're gonna do it right now. Hold on 1 second. I just had this pulled up while I turn off of it. Looking at the Knicks, because we just got to give them some credit, right?
Yeah.
They had a horrible shooting night. Listen, Bullock was 1 of 7. Shooting
I think they shot 14% from the 3-point line, something like that.
16% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, it was ugly. It got ugly.
Let's see. Quickly didn't have a great game. Shot 38% from the field, 28% from 3. Still to come out with, but for him to still come out with 16 points is wild. Right. The only person that shot good was Robinson.
Right.
Robinson. I mean, Noel, if you want to consider those. Oh, I'm sorry. Burks had a game. He's actually 50% across the board with 18 points. But realistically, the people that you depended on for them were having off nights, and we lost. We beat them by 8.
Right.
So anytime you're shooting 16% from 3, you all got to realize that 16% compared to our 30 is 2 threes. Those 2 threes makes this a 1 possession game. That 1 possession, this is a totally different ball game from that perspective, right? And so, in my opinion, I just think that they're going to be a little sharper. And we know just based off their coach and him having come to Chicago, being the Chicago legend himself, how much we respect him. We know he's going to get them right. So I'm expecting it to be a lot harder because we got some of the best basketball from Lauri. We got the best basketball from Gafford.
Yeah.
Kobe, not so much, but Thad Young, we got the most output from him, just filling up the stat sheet in so many different ways. We got a lot of people had a good game for us. They not so much on the other end. So I'm concerned about that. So I'm expecting us to really struggle with that. I'm not saying that I hope we lose, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we take an L on that one.
Man, I want to disagree with you so bad, but it's so true. It's just like, dog, this game was so close. It's Thibs. They finna be running suicides at practice for that turnover by Randall. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be. That's a tough one. Yeah.
Even RJ had a bad game for himself. I know you say leave him open, but this was one of his worst games since his game against Portland in the middle of the month.
You know what? RJ is giving himself a nice little mid-range game. He's giving himself a nice little. I don't think he was attacking the bucket as much because they felt like they had the matchup with Peyton on Kobe White. They had the matchup with Quickly on Kobe White, and so they kept attacking that matchup as well. But man, I mean, I'm gonna say the Knicks probably get the dub just because I don't think you can beat a Tibbs team twice in a row. Like, it's tough to beat a Tibbs team twice over a span of time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It really is. It really is. So I see people in the chat talking about some we don't support WNBA. Hey, listen, we are all for women basketball. Trust and believe that, especially with Candace Parker coming back to the squad. Listen, go ahead. I mean, coming back home as this is my man AD in the chat. Let me know. Hey,
Cause
listen,
I'm coming home again.
I just want to see Candace Parker. Anyway, yeah, so we done gave our stat line for that. I know I done took a detour on that one, but that was a great detour. I know y'all feel that. Anyway, hey, listen, outside of that, I know we got the Knicks. So we're doing that. I don't really like the back-to-backs this way. I tell
No,
you, I don't like the back-to-backs. I'll tell you why. You have to look at this how the schedules play out, right? So let's say, and we've experienced it earlier. We play a good team, got playing back-to-back, right? So we take an L the first one, we more than likely taking an L the second one. That messes up with your record. You know, another good example is Golden State. Golden State had the toughest record, toughest schedule to start the league. They had some of the best teams back to back to back to back. They had them all like right after each other, like we have the Knicks. And so that's why they look like scrubs. They trying to figure it out. It's a new team. They playing the best of the league and getting smacked off out the gate. That's kind of how our schedule looked a little bit. Our schedule looked like that. So when we do that,
yeah, but I think at the same time, like it's balancing out too. Like we had the back-to-backs where it was ugly. We had the ones that were tough games, but also now we've got 2 games versus the Knicks, 2 games versus the Magic, who have been decimated. I think I saw Aaron Gordon out 4 to 6 weeks now, who have literally been decimated. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
while it is the back-to-backs, I mean, you're probably still I think for the bottom feeder teams, which we are one right now, it's probably a little bit tougher. Well, I can't say bottom feeder. For literally the bottom feeder teams, it's probably a little bit tougher because, you know, like in a game where you might get lucky one game and win a game versus like the Lakers, or one game you might win a game versus you know, the whatever a top tier team is, versus the Bulls, versus Milwaukee, whoever you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Versus an upper team that you might get a game here, and then later down the line they get a game back. Now it's like, oh, we beat the Lakers the night before. This is gonna be great, and then like now you got a pissed off AD and LeBron the very next night, and you like, man, how we lose by 60? You know,
I hear that.
that's really what it comes. Like, how is it possible that we didn't score in the second half? Like, well, they was pissed off, dog. Like, that's what happens.
I hear that, but at the same time, it's a catch-22 because we actually get a chance to hit a stride.
Yeah.
But then we play so many scrubs before we actually get to see someone of note that it's like, yo, so like we're gonna play the Magic back to back. Then we play the Wizards. Then we play the Pelicans. Like realistically, when the schedule was made, the Wizards was looking trash.
Bulls could go 6-7 straight, real talk.
Then we got the Clippers though. But then we got the Pacers, the Hornets, then we got the Sixers. Then we got the Kings. Well, the Rockets ain't a screw-up anymore. So I guess the schedule does kind of balance out. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying it almost balanced it out. And honestly, to me, it's one of the most humbling schedules you're gonna get, because you can get 7 straight and be like, hey, we in this mud, bye. You know, we got this done. Y'all ain't messing with us. And then like a real team come to town and they must be like,
like, where my money at?
Where's my money? I need my money, man. You got money for mustaches?
Hey man, hey, listen, it's a good show, man. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, man. I was just about to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, make sure that you click the link. It'll probably be by Kid. Probably over there by Kid. Yeah, over that way. Yep, somewhere over there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Click the link over there or the link in the description below to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. We will have more content up on the page. We have so much coming to y'all in 2021. Me and the boys is coming through with so much work, man. Shout out Ringo J. Shout out P.kidd. Shout out AD. This is your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.